Hi. Is my microphone working? Because I just got an actual microphone, so I want to make sure that it's actually functioning and you guys aren't just hearing like Skype noises. Can someone comment? Can someone confirm they can hear me? Because I could just be totally inaudible. People are asking me if I like Vord. Okay, good. Thank you. I mean, no, but that doesn't answer the vor question. Okay, cool. People can hear me. We're good. Okay. So I'm going to answer some questions from people. Again, I did this last month, but then the PewDiePie thing happened, and so I should probably do them again. Oh, thank you. Yeah, these are my pajamas. I just got out of the shower. I was going to do it before, but then I was like, no, that was a very intriguing story. So I'm going to answer the questions on my Patreon page first, just because I think that's fair, and then I will answer some things in the comments. Okay, so the first question is from Tyler Ledbetter, and it is, what are some topics in general that you'd like to cover in the future? Not necessarily what videos you have planned next, but general ideas for videos you might do later on. So one that I really wanted to do was talking about podcasts in general and kind of the increasing popularity of the genre, especially with kind of narrative real play like D&D podcasts like the Adventure Zone, and didn't originally start as a podcast, but Critical Role, and where that came from and kind of how that medium is uniquely tailored to telling that kind of story. I think that would be very fun. Second question, how do you feel about the PewDiePie shoutout? Okay, I was initially a little bit unsure because the kind of people who I imagine watch PewDiePie videos weren't necessarily the type of people who I thought would like my content. So I was a little bit worried that I would get an onslaught of a whole bunch of followers who kind of just clicked follow, but then didn't actually enjoy any of my videos or didn't connect with them. So I was kind of worried about that. So when I put out my first video since that happening was can you dab on camera? Yeah, was the bad media criticism video. I was a little bit hesitant, but then that was received pretty well. So now I'm not too worried. So I was a little hesitant at first, but now I'm fine with it. What's the best dad you've ever seen, excluding your own, and how many points would you give it? What's the best dad you've ever seen, and how many points would you give it? The best dad I have ever seen, excluding my there's some dads who I like very much. Greg Universe from Steven Universe is a good dad. Asgore from Undertale is a good dad. Clint McElroy, that's definitely a good. I don't know either of the Bronze Eagle. I don't know either, but I'm answering these questions. How many points would I give these dads? 1,000 points for all of the dads. They're all very excellent. I'm just gonna pour more tea here because tea. Oh, what about my dad? He's very cool. He's a very cool guy. I like him very much. I remember mention of a PureFlix related video at one point. Whatever happened to that? Honestly, it was an interesting. Oh, hey, somebody donated $1. Thank you, EDP2000. I appreciate that very much. In terms of the PureFlix video, I did want to do one kind of talking about PureFlix in general and the series and what I thought about it. But then another YouTuber who I like very much, Big Joel, did his final series talking about the God's Not Dead videos. And even though I did want to talk about the whole company in general, I thought that video kind of addressed my feelings on the film company in a way that I feel like me doing it would have just been redundant. Not that he said everything that I would have said, but I just thought that it was a good enough take that I didn't really feel like I needed to make my own anymore. I didn't want to do a video just for the sake of doing a video, even though I did have a cool idea if it was already done, because I do want to talk about things in a way that are new and interesting. So I was just like, nah. A couple people asked favorite video games, if any. Oh no, my answer for this is so basic. I like the Fire Emblem games. Again, such a basic answer, but whatever. If things are popular, it's usually for a good reason. I like The Sims. I know, but I used to play The Sims 2. I used to have this really old, like, half broken laptop that was like from the 90s, and it couldn't do anything except like run The Sims. It wouldn't connect to the internet. It wouldn't do anything else. So when I was younger, I just only played The Sims 2 on that little like broken computer, but then it eventually broke entirely, so I couldn't do that anymore. But then recently I got the Sims 4 digitally and a bunch of expansion packs, so that's been consuming all of my time. It's fun. And then Portal, I like the Portal games. Sue me. I like Stephen Merchant, okay? Oh yeah, no, I had some Sims 2 expansions. I had the downtown, whatever that one was called, and then I had the university one. Whichever one has vampires, that one. I had. And then I had university. For the new one, I have the one where you can be famous and be like a celebrity. I have the one where you can like have apartments downtown. I have seasons, and I have one more. What is it? The one with clubs, the one where you can join clubs. That one. I have that one. So those are some games. And Animal Crossing. I like Animal Crossing. It's just such a nice game. It's just a delightful game. Valium Sadfem McDouble asks, oh, here's a serious one. How do you feel about leftist abstinence advocacy, such as the opposition to legitimizing sexual feelings or having sex, framing sexual feelings as distracting to build mutual and satisfying relationships, and framing sex as in some sense inherently objectifying? Will you say, sex is really, really bad, feller, in a cowboy voice, LOL? Did that. And to be honest, I haven't really encountered that in the spaces that I'm in. Like the problem that you're talking about, I'm sure that it is like a serious issue. And in terms of when I do encounter it, I definitely don't agree with that. I mean, the idea that like those kinds of feelings are like inherently distracting or bad. Oh, hey, thank you, Blade Mod. So yeah, I mean, I do think that there is kind of like a sex positivity that's like completely like uncritical of like any kind of like, you know, like somebody has a fetish where they like calling people racial slurs, and they're like, oh, that's totally okay. I mean, no, we should probably examine that a little more. But, you know, this entire like completely negative attitude, I definitely don't love. Where would you put Red Letter Media's Plinkett videos in the history of video essays? Is it part of the Angry Guy Screams on Video? Does it even qualify as a video essay? I haven't seen them, so I can't say for sure. I would like to talk more about that, so I do plan on watching them, but I can't fit that in yet without knowing more. Oh, somebody asked me in my Discord server, what was it? Do you have an obscure, what was it? Oh, do you have any historical niche interests, like in a period or region, or a historical crush or admiration for some figure? I don't think I have any historical crushes, but I do have some niche historical interests because I'm not minoring in history, but I am taking a lot of history classes as distribution credits for my major. So I've learned a lot of interesting stuff. And one of the things I love is the Great Schism of, I think it's 1378, where, so essentially in Europe, there are two different people simultaneously claiming to be like the true pope. Because one guy was elected as the pope, but then everyone was like, you didn't elect that guy because you think he's going to be a good pope. You elected that guy because you like for political reasons and because you were scared of what would happen if you didn't. This guy, we're electing this guy. He's the real pope. And so you have two people basically both saying we're pope, and they get broken off into these two kind of camps. And then they're like, okay, this has gone too far. We need to elect like a neutral pope who everybody is going to agree on. So that's our solution. We have a neutral pope. Well, now we have 3 guys claiming to be pope. That really fixed that problem. So it was a massive historical mess, and it's so interesting. And I just love that. I wrote my final paper in one of my medieval history classes about the schism, because they had 2 different councils where they were trying to solve it. And one of them failed, and that was the one where they were like, hey, 3rd guy, now he also wants to be pope. And then finally, they convinced one guy to step down and solved it. So it was like, hey, why did this one fail? Well, this one succeeded. So I did a bunch of research and wrote a paper, and it was exhausting. Okay, so those were all of the Patreon questions. So now I'm going to scroll all the way up to the top of the chat and answer these chronologically. Oh dear, what have I done? Okay, let's scroll up. Okay. What's in your rotation of favorite music artists? I feel like this answer is boring because I feel like I give the same answer every time. I'm like, I love Mother Mother. I'm a Jinx Monsoon stan. Shocking. But actually, I have bought a few new songs and albums since then. So Mitski, I've really been enjoying her music lately. So I would definitely advise people to check her out. And then this like pop punk band called I Don't Know How, But They Found Me, which is like kind of Panic at the Disco-y. I think one of their members used to be in Panic at the Disco, but like in 2018, almost 2019, which I love. I just love that. And Cave Town is like a singer-songwriter who I believe got his start on YouTube. And I really enjoy his music just for like chilling out on like a lazy day. And I feel like his songs really tap into a lot of emotions that are often hard to express in words. So I really appreciate his songs for that reason. Let's see, favorite video game I've answered. Scroll. Multi-track drifting. What is a piece of media that you initially hated, but you grew to like? I would have to say the Dragon Prince kind of fits into this, because when I initially started watching, the animation just threw me off so much that I really couldn't enjoy the series. And I felt like they did have a bit of a slow start in introducing us to their world and getting us invested in the characters. So I thought I really wanted to like it before I started watching it. And then when I did start watching it, I was like, oh, I'm not going to like this, am I? But then finally they hit their stride. Even though I still don't like the animation, it did become less distracting. And now I do really like that series, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. So I don't know if I would say I hated The Dragon Prince initially, but I definitely didn't like it as much as I do now. Oh, there's the onslaught of people saying they can hear me because I was unsure if I was audible. Oh, some people asked me if I have seen Lily Orchard's response to my, I did address on Twitter. I made like a little longer thread basically saying like, I did make a couple of minor mistakes. I don't think I was being uncharitable about her video. And I don't think that like the minor mistakes I made detracted from my central point, but like, here are the mistakes I made. And here's where I like miscommunicated. So I feel like I have addressed that. I think she's planning on like making a video kind of refuting all of like things people have said about her, in which case, okay, go ahead, man. If you want to do that, okay. Let's see. Opinions on I only listen to the Mountain Goats. I only listen to the Mountain Goats. Happy New Year. Thank you. Happy New Year to you as well. Did you see the full season of Heathers or just the first episode? So when I made my video on Heathers, the first episode was all that had like been leaked. So my video was talking about the first episode. Since then, the whole series has come out. It was released, I think, in Australia. So I did watch that. Still bad. Still don't love it. Let's see. Will you make a video on Danganronpa one day? Maybe. I like the series. My worry is just that I don't have enough to say on it in an analytical sense to make a full video about the series. I do really love the game, Kitty Kitty Best Girl. I think there is something really interesting about the third game and kind of how the twist ending kind of plays with our expectations. And I think there is some really interesting commentary to be made there on like, how do I phrase it? So a lot of people, I think, without trying to spoil anything, took the response to the fan base that was kind of shown in the third game as like a fuck you to the fans. Like, we don't like how you responded to the game. This is us like making fun of you. But I thought it was kind of a broader point on kind of like the commercialization of things and how we, oh man, I'm much less eloquent when I'm not writing things down, but kind of the way that we treat real people like fictional characters and our tendency to kind of commodify celebrities in that way. And I think that was the point they were getting at, like to the extent where we don't care about real people, we just want kind of predetermined narratives from them. So I thought that was a really interesting theme, but I don't know if that's enough to structure a whole video about it. Let's see. Do you have any New Year's resolutions, or have you given up like the rest of us? I mean, I don't have a concrete resolution. It's more like a soft goal. What I do want to do is read more books this year, because I do love to read, but I do feel like this past year especially, I have kind of just been glued to my phone and to my computer. And while that is fun sometimes, I do feel like it has gotten a little bit much. So I do want to put that down, read more books, because I really do love to do that. That's like, I haven't set like a distinctive number. That's just a little thing to keep in mind for me for this year. Oh, it's in my time zone. It is 10:35, so I guess it's going to be midnight soon. That's exciting. Best type of bending. Water bending is the best type of bending. I feel like it's the most versatile type of bending because you can use it to heal and you can use it in combat. And because of all of the new discovered variations on water bending, like you can literally control the human body in the sense of like, and I imagine if you can bend blood, like you can bend other liquids too, like the fluid in someone's brain in like a more adult-oriented Avatar series. I would love to see someone's take on that. But it is definitely the best form of bending, and it is the one that I would choose if I were given magical bending powers, which will never happen to me, but like let's pretend that it would. Bending. Are you a post-secondary student? And if so, what are you studying? I am. I'm in my third year of undergrad right now. I'm double majoring in international relations and sociology. Fun times. I did do pretty academically well this past semester, but I also came out of it like literally dying. So maybe I should just relax a little bit this next semester. That might be a good idea. Let's see. Okay. What kind of beer? Oh, I thought that said what kind of beer is best, and I was going to be like, it all tastes like piss, but it's what kind of bear is best, which is a much better question. Thank you very much, Green Element. The best bear is the Growler bear, which is a real thing. It's a hybrid between a grizzly and a polar bear, which everything about that is terrifying. The climate change implications of that are terrifying. The bear itself, horrifying. I love it. That is definitely the best bear. All right, let's see. Thoughts on Stardew Valley? I've never played Stardew Valley. I've never played it, which is funny because I like Animal Crossing and it seems like it would be right up my alley, but it's just not something that I've ever played. I would like to play it. I hear it's very calming and relaxing. Are you Jewish? No, I'm not. Do you like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? I've only seen a few episodes. I enjoyed what I saw, but it was a little bit much for me, but I would like to revisit it sometime. Hell yeah, Portal series. Who is your favorite Fire Emblem character? Who is my favorite Fire Emblem character? Leo. Maybe. I like Leo. There's a lot of characters I like. I like Leo, though. Leo's good. Kind of videos. Did you ever be a babysitter? Yeah, when I was in junior high, I did some babysitting. Animal Crossing rules. It does rule. Have you seen Bandersnatch? I have seen it. I watched the whole thing in its entirety yesterday. I made sure to get all of the endings. I don't know who. Oh, I hear fireworks outside. I don't know how to feel anymore. I don't know who to trust. Can I trust myself? If there is somebody controlling me in like a Netflix 40 years from now, please make my story more interesting. I don't care if I have to like fist fight a therapist. I'll do it. Give me some excitement here, man. Which one of ContraPoints' many characters would you most like to snuggle up with? Oh man, well, I'm trying to think of which one would be the most snuggly. I mean, I feel like the obvious answer is Tabby, but I also feel like that's a very boring answer. I think I'm trying to think of which one would be the best cuddler, and I want to have to say her like doctor character would be, because I feel like she would know the best about like physiology and like head massage techniques. So that is the character who I would choose. Let's see. Why do you make videos? No idea. Let's see. The concept of Bandersnatch is so overdone. Doki Doki Literature Club did it so much better. I cannot disagree with you. I really enjoyed Doki Doki Literature Club. Actually, I was so sad the first time I played it because I was aware that the genre was psychological horror, but I didn't really know much else about it besides that. So when I played it, I was like, oh, you need to romance one of these girls. I'm at the section where you can write a poem and you can use specific keywords to impress specific girls. And I was like, I want to romance Monica. She's my favorite. Which keywords can I use to impress her? Because I don't see her little sprite at the bottom of the page. So I'm like trying to figure out all of the ways that I can romance Monica because she really was my favorite. And then at the end of the game, she's like, oh, I had to watch you fall in love with all of these other girls, whereas not me. And I was like, I'm sorry, I tried. I really tried, Monica. I want us to be together. It really physically hurt me. But maybe Monica in her little USB file or whatever, you know. I'm thinking of a Community where Abed falls in love with the virtual girl and like keeps her on a USB stick. Monica in there can feel vindicated by the fact that I always wanted to romance her from the start. Happy New Year from Arizona. Thank you. Happy New Year from Calgary. Your cup sloshing around is making me anxious. Please be careful. My cup sloshing around? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, that was a bad idea because I did actually spill some tea right there. I'm going to put the kettle on though because I am running out of hot water. Okay, that's on. And back to questions. Pope fight to the death. Which of those popes is your fave? I'm going to have to say the Avignon Pope was my fave. His story was much more riveting in terms of the papal schism. How do we ask you questions, Discord? I was answering like patron questions first over Discord, but now that I've answered those, you can just comment them here and I will try to answer as many as I can. Is your bed as comfortable as it looks? Depends. Does it look comfortable or does it look uncomfortable? Because it is very comfortable. It is very spacious. I have Monokuma right here watching over me, which reminds me that we are never truly safe, but kind of, you know, helps me sleep at night based on just the existential horror of it all. It's a little bit sobering, you know? It's very comfy. All right, let's see. What is your favorite Sufjan Stevens song? Mine is Casimir Pulaski. Oh my gosh, I love Sufjan Stevens. My favorite song, though, that is hard. I think maybe The Predatory Wasp of the Palisades might be my favorite. That's a really good song. And oh, someone just asked me for $2 of the two. Which do you prefer, Avatar or Korra? I do have to say, like, the original Avatar. I do like The Legend of Korra, but you just can't beat the original. The only thing that I think Korra did categorically better than the original Avatar The Last Airbender was the visuals and the animation. Just definitely better, but I do really like the original best. No, I'm in my music library. I'm trying to find oh, what's your favorite Sufjan Stevens album? Illinois. Definitely Illinois. That's not even a question. Oh, Feudal Devices. That is a really good song. I just wish it was longer. My tea is ready. 1 second. Now I'm like so worried I'm going to pour boiling water on my microphone. Is the kettle really close to the mic? Is this ASMR right now? And now I'm going to pour the water really slowly into the teapot. Okay. Back to questions. Oh, I got lost. Oh man, now I have to find where I was in the questions. Pardon me while I scroll. Just curious, why aren't you at a party? Ouch. I mean, like, look at me. Obviously, I'm not gonna be at a party. Have you met me? Do you know my personality? I laugh to hide my pain. Okay. Okay, let me go up. I'm sorry, I'm still lost in the questions. I'll just have to start from here. In which case, who is your main? I don't. This was asked so long ago that I don't know who this was asking. Like, which, obviously this is about which games I play, but I don't know which one they were referring to. I'm going to assume it was Fire Emblem, in which case Xander, definitely Xander. I don't have anything against anyone else, but he is just objectively the best fighter in the game. Let's see. Oh, that was probably really controversial, wasn't it? Okay. Hey, same time zone. Yeah, Mountain Time. Go off. I love it. Favorite books or book suggestions? Anything by V. Schwab. I love her books. Vicious is an amazing book. It's a very modern take on the superhero genre. There's a very interesting protagonist. I was going to say likable, but maybe that's not quite the right word. A very interesting protagonist, and I really enjoy her Shades of Magic series as well. Never Let Me Go by, I think his name is Kazuo Ishiguro, is a really good book. I would definitely recommend that one. I'm just worried I'm doing all the same recommendations as last stream. Oh, The Night Circus. That is good. Read The Night Circus. Let's see. Why is a book more entertaining than being on your computer? Isn't it just consuming information all the same? I mean, yeah, it is consuming information, but I feel like when I'm on my computer, just like refreshing through the same 4 websites over and over again, I'm not really consuming information. I'm just kind of, I'm doing like the consuming equivalent of like sitting in front of the TV, like eating a bowl of chips. It just feels like my brain's off, which is fine sometimes because that's sometimes just what I want to do. But I do enjoy, I feel like when I'm on the computer, there's just so many distractions all the time. I open up another tab and like I'm checking my Twitter replies and then I go back to this and it's just a lot. I do enjoy being able to turn that off sometimes. Not in like a phones are bad, the internet is bad, fire is scary kind of way, but I do feel like when I get too much of the screen, I kind of want to die. So no, let's see here. Do you think teens in movies should be played by real teens or people in their early 20s? I don't like the trend of having 27-year-olds play teenagers. I understand why they don't want to have like 16-year-olds play 16-year-olds in the majority of cases because of like youth labor laws and because a lot of times you do have difficult hours to schedule because people do have to go to classes. But like at the very least, like cast 18 and 19-year-olds. I also do find it frustrating when a la Riverdale, they cast people in their late 20s so that they can basically just do gratuitous sex scenes about teenagers and not be called creepy. It's like, okay, that is still creepy. I don't like that. Like, and it's not that there's anything wrong with like inherently wrong with exploring like sexuality in a YA setting. I don't think that's inherently a bad thing. And so I'm hesitant to like assume that any material that features like anything sexual happening like between teenagers is bad. But when it's done in a sense where it's for like the pleasure of the viewer, that creeps me out. Like, it's not about exploring those themes for the characters, it's just gratuitous. And when the characters are teenagers, even if the actors are in their 20s, it's fucking creepy. Thoughts? Oh, Night in the... Oh, that I just narrowly avoided disaster there. I could have spilled boiling water on myself. I totally forgot to mention Night in the Woods when I was asked about my favorite video games. I love that game. It's just really good. I love the art. I love the story. I love the social commentary. My one problem is I do think that the ending was a little bit abrupt, but everything else I love. That's just a great game. I remember seeing the Kickstarter page for it like forever ago, and then I had forgotten that it existed entirely. So I was so excited when it was released. I was like, yes, I remember that. That's a really great game. By any chance, do you live in Canada? I swear I saw a Calgary shirt in a video, but maybe I'm going crazy. No, I do. I'm in Calgary. When I'm in university, I have a Calgary pillow, which is probably what you saw because I'm like home, but not here because I have a Calgary. You could bend cerebral spinal fluid and cause meningitis. I know, water bending is amazing, right? International relations go off. Hell yeah. Could you bloodbed a corpse and make a zombie? That's what I'm saying. There is so much you can do. It's awesome. Let's see. Oh, people are posting a little bear emoji. That's adorable. I love it. The best bear is Ice Bear. Oh yeah, I forgot about that show. Ice Bear is great. Love Ice Bear. Have you been to Scotland? No, but I would love to go to Scotland. It looks beautiful. The trees and forests. I do feel like that's a place a lot of people visit when they're old. So maybe I should wait. I don't know, but I would love to visit Scotland. I've never been to Ireland either, so I would love to go there. I've only been to England. Who is your favorite character? That was a weird way to say that. Who's your favorite character in Avatar? Well, the fact that I'm sitting here drinking tea with a peaceful voice should suggest that clearly my favorite character is Katara. No, it's Iroh. I love Iroh. He's so good. Have you considered doing a video on the Percy Jackson movies? No, but now I kind of want to. Man, I was so disappointed by that movie. I loved those books as a kid. They were so excellent. And I was just so excited to see my favorite characters on the big screen. And then it was a bunch of 25-year-olds, 16-year-olds. All of the characters were completely different, but not even in a way where they were enjoyable in their own right. The story was gutted. Man, I've just tapped into some feelings of real resentment from my 13-year-old self. So sad. Is it still the last day of 2018 where you were? Yeah, it's 10:51 right now. Have you watched Mahler's video about you? I have. Well, I didn't watch the whole thing because I don't want to watch 5 hours of stuff, but I watched the relevant bits. Let's see. Questions. I'm gonna answer questions. Oh no, people think that I called Tabby, the ContraPoints character, boring. It's not that Tabby is boring. It's just that I feel like saying Tabby in terms of your favorite ContraPoints character is a basic answer because it's just the expected answer. It's not that the character is boring. It's just that choosing the character as your favorite is boring. That really doesn't help. No, Tabby is great. I agree. Let's see here. Yeah, I was in a non-compete stream. That's a good stream. People should check it out. Yeah, some people are getting weird. Sense8. I haven't seen all of Sense8. Somebody recommended it to me, and then I was like, yeah, I'll watch that. I'm going on a trip. I'll download some stuff because I'm not going to have internet the whole time. And then it turns out I did have internet, so I was like, no, I'm not going to watch these episodes that I downloaded to my phone specifically for the purpose of this trip. What do you mean? So that was bad. But I'm sure it's good. I've heard really good things. I just need to watch it. But I feel so bad whenever I'm watching a show that I know was canceled too soon because I'm like, what am I doing to myself? I'm going into this knowing that I'm going to be hurt by these unresolved storylines. I felt that way when the first time I watched Firefly. I was 12 or something. I was like, I want to enjoy this, but I know that these storylines go unresolved, and I'm just going to be sad that I get attached to these characters, and then they leave immediately. And then it was fine, but still. Safina's a dork. Yeah, but he's a dork whose music I like. He has good music, man. Oh, it just automatically updated me to the end of the stream. The problem is with the stream is when I scroll down, it doesn't bring me immediately to like the next part of where I'm scrolling. It brings me down to the bottom of the chat. So then I have to scroll up, but then it doesn't always load all the way up. So I keep missing questions, and that makes me very sad. But I'll scroll up again, I guess. Oh, someone asked me if I'm Team Edward or Team Jacob. Oh boy. I mean, really team none of them because they're both creeps. But when I was a Twilight fan, when I was like 10 or 11, as we all were, I was hardcore Team Edward. I had an Edward Cullen t-shirt. I had like Edward Cullen posters on my wall for my 11th birthday party. I actually got one of those like cakes from Safeway or something where you can have an image like printed onto the cake, and it was Edward Cullen's face. Oh my God, no, I just had a horrible memory. My best friend and I recorded like, oh no, like a love song about Edward. We wrote and recorded a song about how in love with Edward Cullen we were. And I still remember the entire thing. And I think I probably still have the CD somewhere. Luckily, my laptop does not have a CD player, so I'm not going to subject you all to it. But that was a pretty painful memory. Oh, someone just said something in the top chat. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I can't post it right now. I can sing a snippet of it. I can sing a snippet of it though. It was like, hold me closer, bite me, struggle to fight me. You're what I want when I want it. Don't give up, Edward. Yeah, it's exactly what an 11-year-old writing about Edward Cullen would sound like. Okay, Sparkly Prince, thank you, Sparkly Prince, says, V3's ending has me shook, and I hope that there's a good video essay on it someday. Have you played the Persona or Zero Escape series? Zero Escape, I have not played. Oh, wait, is that the one where it's a bunch of people and they are in a room or something, and one of them is a traitor, and you have to fight a bunch of enemies and discover the traitor, and then you're going up levels, and like one person like gets voted out or whatever every level? Is that Zero Escape? Maybe not. But anyway, I have not played it, but okay, no, it's not. No, it's not the Mafia. It's something else. I think I have it, and I tried to figure it out, but I couldn't. But I don't think that's Zero Escape. Persona, I love the Persona series. I played Persona 4 so many times. I really love that you can just do anything after school. There's just so much creativity there. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, I really wanted to play Persona 5, so I got a Vita so I could play Danganronpa and Persona 4. I was in like high school then, like saved up all my money to buy a Vita. It was all very exciting. And I was like, oh boy, I know that it was expensive, but I can play Persona 5. And then Persona 5 was released, and it was not available on Vita. It was only available for like PS4 and one other platform, neither of which I had. So I scammed myself because I falsely assumed I would be able to play Persona 5. And to this day, I have not been able to play it. The closest I got was I was at someone's apartment and they were playing it and they weren't talking to me. So I watched them on the TV for like the first half hour of the game. And I really enjoyed what I saw, but I don't want to watch like a playthrough, because part of the fun I find with Persona games is the freedom to like do whatever you want after school and like make, you know, your own friendships and choose which characters you want to romance and bond with. So I want to wait until it comes out on a platform that I have or something, or I just want to wait until I can play it myself to experience it. But I really enjoy the Persona series. Vane Captures says, Happy New Year. Looking forward to more great content in 2019. What will you do with your inevitable 100K play button? I'm very hesitant about the play button because I have heard that some people just don't end up ever receiving one. YouTube is like, no, you don't get one, sorry. But if I do get one, what am I going to do with it? I have like a section of my room over here where it's just kind of things that I've collected over the years. I've got like a Russian doll. I have some like debate tournament medals. I have a nutcracker. I have like a little tiki doll from like Tahiti that I got when I was like 6. So I think I would probably put it up there with my other like my dragon hoard of other items. Yes. Oh, ever play Phoenix Wright? No, I've never played the Phoenix Wright games, but I have played the Miles Edgeworth games, and I really enjoy those. I like like the Ace Attorney series in general. I just haven't done the Phoenix Wright one specifically. Thoughts on Into the Spider-Verse? I still haven't seen it, and I really want to. It's supposed to be like so good, and I want to watch it, but I haven't yet. So I want to enjoy it, but we'll see. I think the aesthetic is really cool. I posted that picture on the one that was on my like my YouTube community page, and also I posted it on like Instagram and Reddit and stuff, which it was me with Jinx Monsoon and Ben de la Creme, and I was wearing that like kind of vintagey dress, and a bunch of people said that it reminded them of the Sabrina adaptation, and they were like my two quirky aunts, which is A, like the nicest thing anyone has ever said about me, but two, really made me want to watch the series because I totally dig that aesthetic. What are your current thoughts on All Stars 4? Team Monet X Change. Monet deserves to win, and I want her to. I feel bad about how mean everyone's being to Gia. She was just creating good TV. Okay. Kyle Greer, thank you, Kyle Greer, says, have you seen the new Sabrina show on Netflix? Wait, did I already answer? I'm having a stroke right now. Did I literally just answer his question? And then I was like, oh, what's this? And then go and answer the same. I have not seen the Sabrina series. Thank you, Kyle Greer. I'm having a day. Epic gamer moment. Yeah, I'm having a gamer moment. Yeah, aren't we all, man? Aren't we all? I'm glad other people are sharing my All-Stars opinions. Honestly, Monet deserves it. I know, right? Monet is the best. I was so disappointed about her Snatch game, but I just think it was a bad format. They shouldn't split them up. It gives them fewer funny interactions to have with each other. Lindsay H for 200 yen asks, is there something the Avatar remake could do to improve? In terms of like improving on the original series, I do think that there was like, it did have, hang on. Sorry, I just had to ban someone from commenting. I think it did get to like a little bit of a slow start, to be honest. I enjoyed the series a lot, but I didn't get truly invested into the characters until about halfway through the series. I did think that the start was a little bit on the nose for what it was. I had a whole like list of thoughts for what a remake could improve upon, but now I'm completely blanking. Well, honestly, and I know this is just a matter of opinion, but I was not feeling Katara and Aang's relationship at the end. I appreciate that it was a romantic relationship that was built on friendship and mutual respect, and I really loved that was something that was present in that show, because I feel like there are so many romantic relationships on TV shows where it seems like they don't even like each other, which is extremely disappointing. But I felt like it was more of a sibling relationship than it was a romantic one. I mean, the fact that Katara was older than Aang was part of it, but also the fact that not only was she older than Aang, but she felt much older than Aang and much more mature than he was. And so it really felt like her relationship towards him was like a younger sibling or like a younger cousin or like a younger, very close friend. I guess if they were determined to commit to that ending, they could have just done a little bit more to build up to it, because we knew throughout the series that Aang did have romantic relationships for Katara, but I just never felt that back from Katara. So that is the one thing that I would improve upon. Yeah. I know Katara did have more chemistry with Zuko, and I mean they could have gone that route. I think if they were going to do Katara and Zuko together, I think there was like more reconciliation that they would have had to have done between Katara and Zuko to make that happen. Just straight up going to a romantic relationship between them like in the final episode also would have felt a little bit out of nowhere for me, but if they want to go one of those two routes, I think there just needed to be a little bit more done there, and that's my one complaint about an otherwise really excellent show. Oh, Happy New Year, Green Elements. I know Aang was hundreds of years old, but he was a child. He was a small child. He is a child, and I love him very much. Let's see. Yeah, Avatar really did hit its stride. in its second season, definitely. It did take a little while. Oh, hang on 1 second. Oh, someone's being and ban somebody else. Okay. Best Persona 4 character, Kanji. Definitely Kanji. I really like him. And I wish his character was treated a little bit better in that game. But, whatever, problematic fave. Thoughts on the new She-Ra show? I'm really enjoying it. I haven't finished the entire series so far. I've watched about half of it. But I'm really enjoying what I've seen. I really enjoy the new take on the character designs. They're a lot more varied and very interesting. I think it's a cute story. Yeah, I love the design. Some of the voice actors are, but cute story. It's just a very cute show. It's a very cute, feel-good show. I know. Why did everyone bully Kanji? He was such a nice dude. Everyone was so mean to him. I know I need a mod, but I don't know anyone in the stream, so I'll just suffer on my own. She-Ra is a lot less grown up than Korra, and that's fine. I don't think that every animated show needs to be like super dark and gritty. I think it's just a fun, feel good show, and that's fine as it is. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna make this person a mod because I can do that. No, the comments are scrolling too quickly for me to. There we go. That guy is a mod now. Or person, I don't know. You paused H-Bomber Guy's video to watch this. Thank you. That's so appreciated. No, I have not seen Lindsay Ellis's memes. Yeah, same. I have not seen, that was okay. I've not seen Lindsay Ellis's new video on Authorial Intent or Death of the Author yet. I look forward to seeing it. Some people have said that it did touch on some similar topics to mine, so I'm interested to see her takes on it. So I will tweet about it or something when I've seen it. It was a good video. Oh, Death to the Author. That's it. All hail the new mod. Yes. All hail the glow cloud. Indeed. Do you like Atlanta? I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. This video is good. Let's see. What am I majoring in? International relations and sociology. That's a good time. Oh, if people want to recommend YouTubers in the comments, you are welcome to. Do you watch Doctor Who? What are your thoughts on the current series? So this is another series that I am about halfway through right now because I got so busy with classes that I wasn't able to do anything for a solid 6 weeks. I think I've seen up to Demons of the Punjab, I think it was called. And as far as the series, I really enjoy the new characters. I love Jodie Whittaker's take on the Doctor. I love all of the companions. I think that they all have a really nice rapport. What I'm not loving so far is a few of the individual episodes in terms of writing. The Arachnids one, I just thought it was really poorly written. I think that the moral dilemma they were going for just didn't really work. I wasn't understanding why it's somehow morally better to let a bunch of giant spiders starve in a room than it is to kill them. I didn't get that at all. So I'm enjoying this season. In terms of individual episodes, there are some that I thought were a bit poorly written, but I still prefer it to Stephen Moffat's stuff just as a personal preference because I really didn't like how he handled his characters or his story arcs. And I would rather have a story with a few poorly written individual episodes, but an overarching story and a cast that I connect with than the other way around. So as much as there are things that I don't love about this series, I do think it's a welcome change. Jacob for $5 says, can you talk about your process for making a video? If it's too long, perhaps it could be a video itself. So the first thing, which is usually the hardest, is actually deciding what I want to talk about because there is a lot of difficulty there. Once I've found a topic of interest, I do my research. So depending on the topic, that can take a couple of days. My process for making videos used to be a lot shorter when I just talked about like TV shows I didn't like, because even though I did try to add, depth and analysis to that, there's not a lot of like research that you need to do in terms of like 13 reasons why I handled suicide poorly. But now that I'm kind of handling broader topics, it does take me a bit longer to do that. So a couple days maybe. And then I actually write the video, which is usually kind of done simultaneously with research, kind of taking notes. That's usually a day or two, depending on how hard I'm working. Then I film the video. That's usually about an hour and a bit to do. Editing the video, couple hours. Uploading the video. This is very slow Wi-Fi here in this house, so that's usually like 12 hours. And then while the video is uploading, I make a thumbnail, add my tags, add like a funny description or whatever, then post it. So usually as a whole, the process, once I've decided what to do, is maybe 4 days in terms of making a video, which is not the worst. For people who have higher production values than me, like people like ContraPoints who have like the editing that's all elaborate with like the flashing lights and the multiple characters edited into one shot, they need to work a lot harder than me, those people. So I am fine, really. Let's see. Oh, somebody. Have you ever had a dream that you want them to do you so much you could do anything? I love the important videos playlist that's just like this multiple hour long process of all these really short, like funny little videos. And there's the one where it's that kid doing that speech, but someone's done like a metal remix where they play a note on an electric guitar every time he says something. So now that's always my association with that quote. Is that child. I know, I love it. It's so fucking funny. But my favorite video in the important videos playlist is the one, I die every time I see it, with that, it's that girl, that little kid, and she's just gotten like a Barbie toy that flies, and she's flying it, and it just immediately flies right into the lit fireplace. It's so painful, but I love it. Do you watch Doctor Who? And if yes, what is your opinion on the current season? So, as I was mentioning earlier, like the characters, love their connection with each other. I think that the actors have a lot of great charm, but some of the individual episodes I did find a bit poorly written. I do prefer that to the previous series, though, where it was the other way around. Well-written individual episodes, but I didn't like how the story arcs were handled. So not perfect, but a welcome change. Let's see. Do you agree with the interpretation that Naoto from Persona 4 is a transgender man? I feel like this, as well as Chihiro from Danganronpa, is a good example of sort of the difference in terms of like authorial intent and death of the author, because I don't think that either of those characters were written as like, I don't think that the authors intended to write either of them as transgender, but I can understand where that interpretation came from. I think that Chihiro, I don't personally don't necessarily agree with that headcanon, although I don't mind it. Naoto, that's kind of how I did take the game, is sort of saying that that is who Naoto is. And I think even though that's not quite like what the makers were trying to communicate with Naoto's character, I do think that it's a valid way to interpret it. And that's kind of, when I first played the game, that is kind of how I walked out kind of seeing that character. Let's see. Yeah, no, exactly. There aren't like a lot of like transgender characters in like anime and video games. So I can understand like the desire for representation, even when it isn't explicitly spelled out, when you do have characters who are sort of suggested to be, oh, hang on. Okay, why am I spilling tea on myself? This isn't a metaphor for like, oh, she's spilling all that tea. I'm literally just spilling tea on myself because I am a disaster human. Do you watch Steven Universe? Yeah, I do. I just watched today's episode, actually, in which they just casually confirmed a 6-month-old fan theory and nobody said anything about it. I'm very excited to see where this disaster by tease. Yeah, same. I'm very excited to see where the new season goes. Let's see. Yeah, they're finally off hiatus. They're doing weekly episodes again. I don't think it's going to last a long time, but I am not going to complain while we're here since they were on hiatus for 6 months and now they're finally making regular episodes. And the 2 episodes that have been released so far, I think have been quite good. Did you see that there's a The Good Place ripoff with Daniel Radcliffe and Steve Buscemi? No, but now I need to. That's amazing. I'm so curious. Pink lasagna. Oh, I love it. No, I haven't seen the new Spider-Man movie, but I've only heard good things about it, so I really do want to watch it soon. Thoughts on The Good Place season 3? I really enjoy so far this recent season of The Good Place. I think that there was a point in the middle of the season, sort of when they were visiting their family members, that I did get like a little bit bored with the premise, because part of what I like about The Good Place is its ability to like change things up on a whim. Kind of as soon as you get into the rhythm of like, this is the game of this series, this is how we're doing things, they change it up. And I absolutely love that. And there was a time where I did feel like it was stagnating a little bit, but now they've managed to get past that, and I'm really enjoying what they are doing with their premise so far. And I'm very excited after the most recent episode to see their take on spoilers. You mentioned in the bad criticism that you have some issues with Hbomberguy's Sherlock video. Could you expand on that? Off the top of my head, I just feel like there were some instances. It wasn't necessarily that I had an issue with his video so much that I just didn't agree with it. Like just him saying that like, oh, John's a boring character because blah, blah, blah. Or like, oh, the visual effects aren't like useful because blah, blah, blah. Those were just kind of, I didn't think that he was like, it was wrong of him to have that opinion or to state it. It just wasn't something that like I necessarily agreed with. Like he made this point about how the visual effects on Sherlock, for example, I think he pointed to the wedding episode as one of them with the photography going around, wasn't useful just because it wasn't serving like a plot purpose. But for me, I don't feel like it needed to be in the middle of an action scene to kind of set it apart from other shows and be visually interesting and distinctive. And I feel like it works on its own on that level. I don't feel like it needed to be serving an action scene at every moment just to have interesting visuals. It wasn't that I thought it was a horrible video. I think it was cool. I just didn't agree with some of the stuff he had to say. It was just a difference in opinion. Favorite Minecraft block? I have never played Minecraft, which is horrible, but I just have never played it. I don't have it. I think it's cool. I have nothing but respect for people who are able to play the game and make like these massive settlements. And I think it's a great game to encourage creativity in people, but I've just never played it. Liam Jones. I'm not seeing a question. I'm just seeing 5 pounds, which cool. What time is it in England? I can't tell if it's really early in the morning or if everybody is staying up really late. I'm sorry. I've never played Minecraft. I'm sorry, guys. Oh yeah, Claudio Bolin. Yeah, I really enjoy what I've seen of her videos. It's 6:17 a.m. So all of my UK people who are watching this video, did you wake up really early or are you staying up really late? Because either way, I'm very concerned for you, but I don't know how concerned for you I should be. Although I don't know, should I be more concerned if you woke up early because who does that, or more concerned if you haven't slept since? Woke up at 5 a.m. Okay, so some of you woke up early and some of you are staying up late. Guys, go to bed if you're staying up late. It's so late. No. Oh, you're waiting for season 3 of A Series of Unfortunate Events. Yes, I'm going to watch that tomorrow. My family and I are watching RuPaul's Drag Race together. And well, I mean, I've already seen it, but I'm showing it to them. And we just finished season 9 today. So just in time for us to watch A Series of Unfortunate Events together, which is very exciting. Do you like Magic the Gathering? I'm sorry, I'm speaking so quickly. I'm so sorry. I was looking at the comments just ticking and ticking. And I think I'm just Floppy Taco 6969 asks, do you like Magic the Gathering? Magic the Gathering is one of those things that I kind of want to get into, but it's somewhere where I don't really know where to start. when I read about it, it sounds like fun, but I am a little bit hesitant just because I hear about, you need to spend hundreds of dollars to have like competent packs, and then they go out of circulation at tournaments. So you buy cards and then you can't use them for however many years. And that aspect doesn't sound that appealing to me. But everybody who I know who plays it really enjoys it and is having a great time. I don't know if they have Stockholm Syndrome or if it is really fun, but it is something that I would like to try out at some point. It was the same for me with D&D before I started playing it. I really wanted to get into it, and I just never had the opportunity. And the math intimidated me, I guess, because I didn't really know that much about the game. For people who were at university, like 4-ish years ago, do you guys remember Yik Yak before they got rid of anonymity and shut it down and was disappointing? I ended up actually finding my D&D group through Yik Yak because I posted, or somebody posted, oh, I really wish that I could learn to play Dungeons and Dragons. And then a bunch of other people anonymously posted, hey, me too. And then someone was like, what if we all met up and like had a group for people who had never played before? And we ended up meeting in I'm sitting on the edge of my, the residence lounge of somebody's res building, and now we are all friends, and now we're a real D&D group. So I'm really sad that Yik Yak killed itself as an app, because I made some friends through Yik Yak. Kyle Greer asks, do you enjoy Marvel/superhero films and television? If so, have you seen Marvel's Runaways? I think you might enjoy it. I do really enjoy Marvel movies. I don't love all of them, but if you go to see a Marvel movie in theaters, you're always going to have a fun time. I've never seen Runaways, though. I wanted to, and then I feel like this is my answer to everything. It's just another one of those cases of I got so busy and just got bogged down with other stuff. But that's one of the ones that is on my list. I do have an actual physical list, and Runaways is on it. Thoughts on Kurosami? It's great. Oh, Jedi Master 667, you make really good video essays, and I love your content. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Do you like the movie The Handmaiden? I haven't seen it. I'm sorry. Have you ever played Sonic the Hedgehog? I haven't. Have you watched Hunter x Hunter? I haven't. I'm so sorry. But that is one that I really do want to watch, because I have heard a lot of good things about Hunter x Hunter. Everybody who I know who has seen it says that it's a really good anime. Oh, Dexter B. Someone is shooting a gun off in my neighborhood to celebrate New Year's Eve. Are you okay? What class do you play in D&D? So the only class that I have not played yet is a druid. And my principle right now is that I don't want to repeat classes until I have played every class at least once, just because I don't want to get caught in the rut of this is comfortable for me, so this is what I'm going to do every campaign. So the class that I'm playing right now is a ranger. His name is Evander Goldpetal. He is blind, but he has a wolf as his companion who helps him get around. He's a very great swordsman, lives in the forest, protects his little village. We're doing Out of the Abyss, though, so he is far from his village. But that's what I'm playing right now, and then I'm going to start another campaign pretty soon, and my character for that, it's going to be like a magic school, and she's going to be a bard, so that's going to be fun. Favorite meme of 2018? Honestly, the concept of linear time has become so lost on me that I don't remember which memes were from this year. So if I had to guess, right off which memes were even from this year? Nothing feels real anymore. I feel like I'm in some other, reality. My favorite meme of this year has probably been the revival of the Robbie Rotten memes after Stefan Karl sadly passed away. I was so sad about that. He just seemed like such a... Oh, yes, Adriana Grape. I love that one. But Stefan Karl just seemed like such a great guy, even beyond the meme stuff. And I love the fact that he embraced the memes about him, but he just seemed like a really genuinely nice person. So I was really sad about that. Have you seen Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood? If so, thoughts. It's my favorite anime. So whenever I Google shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender, that's always the one that comes up, because people say that it is amazing. It's a really good anime. It's worth watching if you like that show. Yeah, so that's one that I really, really want to watch. I know like a few basic concepts about the show. I think there's like some sin in alchemy. I think you're not supposed to like bring people back to life. So I think he maybe like cuts off his arm because there's some joke about like this character wanted his mother back and it cost him an arm and a leg. So I vaguely know that, but besides that, I don't know that much. I know there's these two brothers and one of them is Edward Elric or something. So I really want to watch it to have so I can understand the okay, the Full Metal Alchemist memes. Oh, Patreon got one more question right now. What's up? Why don't we watch more stuff with everyone on the Discord? Yeah, totally. I really enjoyed when we all watched Cutthroat Kitchen together. Yes. So if you become a patron, we can watch stuff on Discord, including Cutthroat Kitchen, which is very fun. I love that show. It's so dumb. It's just so dumb. I love it. Yeah, I have a Discord server, and if you become a patron, then you can join it. It's like everybody gets $25,000 and then they all have to cook something, but then you can bid on like sabotages for the other chefs. Like, oh, your opponent has to like cook all of their meals upside down, or like they don't get to taste their food. And it's just so fun. But then at the end, if you win, you only get to keep the money that you didn't bid. So you have to be very strategic about it, and you can't just bid willy-nilly. It's such it's such ridiculous fun. I love it. I know it is the best food show. It is the best food show. Have you seen Cowboy Bebop? That is something that I have seen. Thank God. Do you do sociology at U of C? I don't go to U of C, no. I go to university way on the other side of the country. It would be really convenient if I went to U of C because, like, I'm right here, but I don't go to U of C. And that's my story. What am I sipping? It's just tea. It's just tea. I have, because I did the Reddit, like, you know those Reddit exchanges where you have to buy a gift for someone and then they buy a gift for you, et cetera, et cetera. So I did a tea one. It was coffee and tea. And so that was on Thanksgiving weekend. I did like a little road trip around some of the towns near mine, and I got all this like local coffee. So I sent it to them. And for my gift, I got clump. Oh, I definitely could have slipped on that puddle of tea that I spilt right here. What is this channel? I've wandered in here drunk. I don't know either, Neil UK. I don't know either. Nobody knows, least of all me. I got David's Tea Top 12. And so this tea right here that I am drinking is... it's Forever Nuts. It is Forever Nuts. It is a nutty jumble of almonds, apple, and cinnamon, which turns crazy pink when steeped, but I've kind of reused these tea leaves a couple times, so it's more like a light brown right now. It's not crazy pink at the moment. Okay. You guys are so weird. I love it. That is my hair. Do you want to overthrow the patriarchy and live in a pastryarchy? Pastries, I want to rule. I want a world ruled by sentient pastries. That sounds amazing. If we get to eat the wrongdoers, because if we get a world like ruled by pastries, and the consequences of that is that we don't get to eat. Can you tell I'm tired that we don't get to eat pastries? I'd be very sad. Okay, serious question. What are your thoughts on The Handmaid's Tale? Is it torture porn or an unflinching look at the way society treats women? So I read the novel and I really loved it. In terms of like an unflinching way society treats women, I think that that's a very good example of that in terms of like the way that people try to regulate like women's reproductive rights and sexuality. I think that the book was excellent. In terms of the TV show, honestly, I watched the first few episodes. I couldn't really get into it. I mean, part of it was just on a personal level, what makes me feel uncomfortable. And I don't know, maybe this is wrong of me. I don't like the fact that it's a TV show about like a cultish mentality that like oppresses women, and the person they chose to cast in their lead is part of a cult that oppresses women. Like literally a Scientologist. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get like I'm super against Scientology. So like, okay, now they're gonna find me and kill me. But like, and that made me so like viscerally uncomfortable that I didn't want to watch the rest of the series. To be honest, I hate it. I hate that. But in terms of the response to the TV series, I don't know. I've just found it quite ironic when you see things like, oh, sexy handmade Halloween costumes, or like, I do love RuPaul's Drag Race, but like on the third All Stars, the like handmade, like running joke. I don't know. I just find it so interesting that you have a series and a novel that like talks about like this is how people treat like women in like sexually, and then it's like here's a sexy women's costume based off of that. I feel like that kind of speaks for itself. Have you seen Akira? Now listen closely, feller. If you say no, I will find you and steal your mug. Yes. Yes, I have. I have seen Akira. Please don't steal my mug. I will be so sad. Oh, someone says, oh, I missed a question. I will answer Sarah Z or Sarah's. Oh, here we go. One last question and I'll stop bothering you. Which anime slash video game slash any other form of media has the best and most positive representation of female characters in your opinion? Oh, that's so hard. I mean, I think that there are a lot of great movies and shows that have good representation for female characters, and I think it would be difficult to name the best, but I do really like I liked Orange is the New Black for that, when it was about real people and not just cartoon characters. Oh, hang on. This is a weird one, but like the Mad Max Fury Road, I really loved that in terms of its female characters. But I just in terms of like well-written female characters, I think a lot of the ones that aren't necessarily apparent in that way because they're not self-referential about it. They're not like, oh, this is great because it has well-written female characters. And I think this is a dead horse at this point, but that was one of my problems with the Ghostbusters movie. I mean, part of it, a lot of that wasn't the movie's fault. A lot of that was like angry dudes who were like, the female Ghostbusters, the feminists are taking over our society. But I didn't like the fact that the marketing for that did frame it as like this feminist epic. I think that a lot of, because it wasn't. It was like, it was an average comedy that happened to have women in it. And I wish that they hadn't marketed it in that way. But I think that a lot of media that has great female representation doesn't have to market itself as great female representation because it just is. It's just like about our stories. And I think that might be kind of sounding like a bit of a cop-out answer, but I just like stuff that focuses on women's lives and just treats women as people and doesn't need to justify itself. Sarah Z or Sarah Z? It's Sarah Z. There is another YouTuber who is named Sarah Z, and I think that their name on YouTube, like their full YouTube name is Let's Talk About Stuff. But like their YouTube channel name is Let's Talk About Stuff, but their name is Sarah Z. So I always say that person is Sarah Z. I'm Sarah Z. What do you want to pursue as a career? Right now, either law school or grad school. I have to do more school after my undergrad just because of the nature of my program. I just have to do more school and I will just have to live with that. So some kind of post-secondary. Have you ever played Celeste? Continue with the epic content. I haven't. I'm so sorry. I feel like such an asshole. Like people spending money to ask me if I've seen like extremely popular material, and every single time my answer is no, sorry. I wish I had more to say about it. I haven't. I'm so sorry, Blade Mod. I'm so sorry. Why did you choose to do sociology to major in? Well, actually, initially, I was only majoring in international relations. And in my university, you have your major, if it's international relations, you have to take 2 like streams, which are kind of like minors, but a little bit less intensive. So I chose sociology and history. I'm still doing history. And then, so I started taking a bunch of sociology courses by nature of that being my stream. And I was like, oh, I love this. I did a lot of really cool media analysis. I got to write a paper about like D&D's relationship with like disability representation, which was so fun. I did a class that was all about just like youth culture and like in various periods of time, youth-specific subcultures. We watched that documentary Teenage about kind of the rise of the teenager as a social concept and where that came from. Because initially it was like you're a child and then you're an adult when you're like 15, 16. There was no in between. And then the war and a bunch of stuff kind of created this idea of a teenager. So that was really interesting. I just loved it. So then after my second year, I was like, well, guess we're double majoring now. So now I'm suffering, but at least my suffering is interesting. What do you think about Akira? I like it. I do like it. Please don't steal my mug. mm. 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 Check out the essay on Mad Max FR by Mackenzie Wark. One sec. I'm going to remember that. Mackenzie Wark, Mad Max. And now that's in another tab, so I won't forget. Oh, I have some more questions on from Discord. I mean, it's not from Discord. It's on Discord. It's from my patrons. Nothing Big asks, what advice would you have given yourself 1 year ago? Honestly, I feel like compared to where I was a year ago, I feel pretty happy with the way everything has turned out. Like, I started to do YouTube. I really enjoyed that. I'm doing pretty well in my classes. The one piece of advice I would give myself is not to sign on to the lease, the house that I'm in right now in my university place, because I hate it and it's the worst. And my landlady hates me. So that is the one piece of advice. I would be like, find another place to live. I don't even want to elaborate on it because like what if they see it? I don't know. They won't. She won't. But I don't think she knows how to use a computer. Oh my God, I'm definitely going to delete this stream afterwards. But that would be my piece of advice, is not to live. Cats or dogs? I can give you a hint. As to which of the two incredible creatures I prefer. It's cat. I do love dogs, though. Dogs are great, but cats have to be my favorite. I have no problem with either animal, and I'm never going to complain about a dog. Dogs are sweet, and they're very cheery and excellent. In terms of whether I would rather have a cat or a dog, it's always going to have to be a cat. You don't have to take them for a walk every day. You know, they can sit on your lap while you watch TV. They can purr. I just love them. I love cats. Hey, man, don't be mean to dogs. I'm going to hide that comment because that's mean. Just because I like cats doesn't mean dogs aren't awesome too. It's not a binary. It's not either or. What a bore. I do look like a cat person. I do? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I have more Patreon questions. Do you watch One Piece? If not, what is your favorite subreddit? Okay, this is one that I actually have seen, so I can answer this one. I have seen One Piece. I haven't seen it in a while. I read the manga when I was in elementary school because I was just getting into that like anime phase. As far as I remember, I really enjoyed, what's her name? Kami? Oh my God, I don't remember anymore. The girl who fights. I liked her. I didn't know I liked girls yet. So I was like, I want to be her. No, you wanted to date her. I liked her a lot. And then I was a little bit sheltered, so I just thought that One Piece was a manga. I didn't know that it had an anime, so I was so excited when I found out, and then I found out there were so many episodes that I could never conceivably finish it, but I really enjoyed it for a while back there. But I will still answer the what is your favorite subreddit. One of the ones that I really like is r/choosing beggars. It's the one where it's mostly people who are like, you know, you're putting something up for sale on eBay for like $200 and it's something expensive, and they're like, I'll pay $30. Also, can you deliver it to me? Or, you know, people who don't want to charge artists for their work. So it's just all about like making fun of those people. I do think that a lot of the like text messages and conversations that show up in that subreddit are extremely fake, but they're usually pretty easy to identify, even though they end up getting to the top of the subreddit often. But oh well. I think that it's just that's a good subreddit to like go browse like the top posts of this year of, because it's and then I love r/unresolved mysteries. I love it, but it pisses me off because it's, of course, all of these unresolved mysteries, and you get so deep into these like true crime rabbit holes that you just never like, sorry, I was reading comments. I'm gonna block that off while I answer, or I'm gonna get too distracted. It's so frustrating when you find out about a mystery that is unresolved and you're just like never gonna know. Like, Asha Degree's disappearance. Ugh, I feel so bad. Or JonBenet Ramsey, like who killed her, and everybody has their theories, but you're never gonna know definitively. So it is an excellent subreddit to read about, but it's just so frustrating as well. So I was very happy when the Golden State Killer, his identity was revealed, and he is now going to prison finally. So that was so cathartic after assuming that like this is somebody who was long dead and we're never gonna know. So that was excellent. Oh yeah, Down the Rabbit Hole. I've seen a few of those. They're really entertaining, I think, especially because Samuel's documentary series got shut down, which is what I was like binge watching over the summer. So it is nice to have like fun YouTube docuseries to still watch. Is that all the Patreon questions right now? Yes, it is. Are you a Scorpio? No, I'm not. I don't like do astrology, so I don't like it. I don't have a problem with people who enjoy it. I think it's like harmless fun, but it's just not for me. So I always just find it interesting when somebody's like, "Oh, I know you. I figured you out based on your personality. You're," and then they say a sign that I'm not. I don't know. I just find that kind of funny, and I just love those like think pieces about like astrology. There's so many hot takes on the internet. I just find it a very interesting topic. You're totally a Virgo. You're still wrong, my dude. You're still wrong. I haven't seen BoJack Horseman. I want to. Ugh. I feel so... I'm not a Libra either. You guys are not doing well at this. Not a Pisces. Nobody's got it yet. My God. No, I haven't. Nope, not a Pisces. I have not seen. It's not. Is it a Leo thing to say? Because I'm not a Leo, my dude. You're all. Nope, not an Air. Gemini. Finally, somebody got it. You got it, my dude. After 50 million guesses. Hentai. Is it the pinnacle of art, or do you hate it? What would you rate it? I wouldn't rate it. I try to actively avoid it as much as I can. Somebody finally guessed my sign. Yeah, right? Like, oh, of course you're a Gemini. We knew all along. Okay, my dudes. Okay. That's exactly what a Gemini would say. It's also exactly what an Aries would say, and a Libra would say, and a Pisces would say. Galaxy brain, indeed. I'm not giving anyone hints. They're trying to guess based on my personality. Oh, it's true. I'm a Gemini because there's 2 people with my name. That people figured it out. What do you think about the death of Tumblr? That is just totally another example of a platform that is killing itself. It didn't have to ban all adult content when that makes up a substantial chunk of their like revenue and a lot of their communities, including like, art and political stuff, which they say they're not banning, but their algorithm doesn't know how to differentiate between the two. I don't know. I just find it so disappointing when platforms just decide to kill themselves, like with Yik Yak and banning anonymity. Yeah, exactly. It just seems so unself-aware to me. I understand why they did it, because they were removed from the App Store because they don't know how to moderate, but there have to be better solutions than that. I mean, I didn't use it for that purpose, so it doesn't like personally affect me, but it still sucks. I mean, like, it's just a dumb decision. Yeah, it didn't even work. Female presenting nipples. It's so gross. If you could instantly fix the problems with one show you reviewed as terrible, what would it be? I would make 13 Reasons Why not exist. No, But I do think there has to have been a better way they could have handled that concept. 13 Reasons Why. So the one problem in the one show that I would have fixed would be 13 Reasons Why and just being a little bit more socially responsible, because so many people saw it, and like the themes of the show affected so many people and so many people were talking about it. In terms of what would make the most impact, definitely making some changes to 13 Reasons Why. Are you the Wendy's girl? Do you mean, am I the person who made the Wendy's video, or do you mean, am I Wendy? Because I am Wendy. I'm not the person who made the Wendy's video. No. I did make the Wendy's video. That was me. Favorite podcast? The Adventure Zone is my favorite podcast, but I also really like Serial. Season 2 I did not like. Season 3 I am really enjoying. Season 1 was my favorite. Yeah. Season 2, it just seems strange because one thing that I really liked about season 1 was that it's this really deep dive into this kind of relatively obscure murder case from the 90s, and kind of inviting people to learn about something new and rethink their perceptions. But with season 2, they chose to do an extremely prolific case that everybody had already heard about. They didn't even get an interview with the guy. There was just, I didn't feel like they were saying anything substantial or interesting or new. So I didn't enjoy season 2. But that return to like the obscure deep dive into like these average cases to provide a wider look at larger society is something that I really enjoyed in season 3. I'm glad that there was a return to that because I'm really enjoying it. Is that a cat or an owl in your shirt? I was assuming it's a cat, but now that you said owl, I can't unsee. But if it is an owl, I'm still covered because I have an owl mug too. So whether it's a cat or an owl, I'm set. Now I need to put these away. It has cat ears, but it has an owl beak? Or is this a nose or a beak? I don't know. It's something. A dog mug. I don't have a dog mug. The mug master. I know. I have even more back at university. I have so many. Cat or owl, the new Laurel and Yanny. Oh my god, I forgot about that Laurel and Yanny thing. The Dress 3.0. Fight a leftist YouTuber. Who could you take down? Probably none of them in a physical fight. If I had to fight somebody, I would probably be the one who would put on the biggest show. If I had to do a cage match, I'd do a cage match with H-Bomber Guy because I think it would be the most entertaining. We would both lose that fight. There are no winners in that situation. That's what I'm saying. I do. Oh, I do. Night Vale. Yeah. Do you speak / want to speak any other languages? Ben, je suis canadienne, alors je peux parler un peu de français. J'ai fait l'immersion français dans l'école élémentaire, mais pour l'école secondaire, j'ai changé école, alors j'ai oublié beaucoup de français. And then I also understand a little bit of Spanish because I did it as an option in high school, but that's not much beyond donde está la biblioteca. And then Nihongo ga daitai wakarimasu ga sore wa shit desu. Yeah, so yeah, I am learning Japanese. I could be better, but I can order food in Japan and like get around competently. So, won't complain too much. That's Korean, my dude. That's not even Japanese. That's Korean. Omae wa mou shindeiru. Nani? High school French class flashback. Same. Am I from New York? I can't tell if that's a compliment or an insult. Should I be flattered that you think I'm from New York, or does that mean you think I'm an asshole? I'm not. I am Canadian, but I feel like New York would be a cool place to live. I've been, quite a few times. I really like it. How are you going about learning Japanese? So first I had a tutor when I was in high school. She was just like a university student who was studying Japanese. So she helped me with the help of Genki. Then I took all of the Japanese classes that my university had to offer. And then I did that. So Then I did a month in Japan at like a Japanese language school. I did a summer intensive program, and now I'm self-teaching again because I've run out of courses at my university. They don't offer that much. America needs more leftist YouTubers, maybe, but I am Canadian, so I can't help you there. Where do you find these cute cups? The owl one, I'm so sorry, is from Disney World. I got it in the Japan pavilion in Disney World when I was like 14. The cat was a gift from a Reddit gift exchange. This was a Christmas gift. I have a couple more that I bought for myself, like off of Etsy or Redbubble or something. You must be a Grimes fan. I'm not, but I did like her little bit in Luna Love Forever. Oh, what is your political ideology? Closest I would describe it as democratic socialist. That's not like 100% accurate, but that's the, if I had to choose like a term, that's probably like the best approximation for what I think. Ooh, what sociology class are you taking? Why do you like them? I was gonna go for ICSW, but I took 101 and it turned me off, so I changed my major, my dude. So I took a couple of sociology classes last semester because, you know, that is a major, so I had to take a bunch. So what did I take? I took one that was qualitative sociological methods. So we had to design like a small research project. I did one about like RuPaul's Drag Race because it was easy. I don't know. I got like a B+ on it or something. I don't know. And then I did one that was about like citizenship and like immigration and like the various issues associated with that. And then I did one that was like an introduction into the major sociological thinkers. Before that, I did one that was sociology of disability. So it was talking about the various kind of theories and models that people use to conceptualize disability. And then I did sociology of youth culture. And then I did a couple of basic intro classes in first and second year. My favorite was probably sociology of disability. That was a good class. I don't know if you got asked this before, but Lindsay Ellis's new video's first half reminded me a lot of your video regarding fan fiction. Did you see it? Not yet, but I do plan on watching it. I am curious where our thought styles kind of overlap. I've seen comments saying that like she stole my video, but I just highly doubt that. I mean, I don't know. In terms of Occam's razor, I just feel like it's a lot more likely that two people who experience like similar worlds in terms of like the media they consume came to similar conclusions than like somebody is ripping someone off. And it was the same thing with like my Lily Orchard video. Or no, this wasn't the Lily Orchard part of the video. This was the CinemaSins part of the video because I made a comparison to The Onion when I was talking about CinemaSins as satire, and like if The Onion did what CinemaSins did and called itself satire, that would be bad satire. And then some people pointed to a video by Bob Vids who made a similar comment about The Onion, and they were like, "Oh, you stole it." I'm like, "Well, no. When you think of satire, The Onion is like literally the first place your mind is going to go. It's not a difficult comparison to make." That was a really good video, though. I would definitely recommend watching it. If you still like saw my video about CinemaSins and you were like, "Oh, but CinemaSins isn't real criticism, it's just a joke," I think he addresses that much more extensively than I did, and it's definitely worth watching. Let's see. I'm trying to find ones I haven't answered yet in the stream. Is the Earth flat or round? Is the Earth flat or round? This guy still believes in the Earth. Ridiculous. Clearly, it is a conspiracy by NASA. There's no such thing as Earth. Earth. Do you think we have free will? I have no idea. Am I drinking this drink because there's a guy on Netflix controlling me, or am I drinking this drink because I want to drink this drink? No idea. But if you can't control whether there's free will or not, then you might as well live under the assumption that there is, because otherwise, nobody is held accountable for their actions, and I don't think that's a good way to live. So I don't know if free will exists, but the only real thing I can do is assume that it does and go from there. I have seen Bandersnatch. It was good. Have you seen Angie Speaks? Yeah, I really like her videos. It's kind of criminal that she's as underrated as she is. I found her through her interview with Non-Compete, because he was going to do an interview with me. So I went back and watched a few other interviews that he'd done just to get a feel of his style. And I watched his interview with her, and then I went to her channel. Angie Speaks, really good. Would definitely recommend her. With my blank is bad videos, what would you say is your favorite of these shows in a So Bad It's Good or Lesser of Evils? Oh, Orange is the New Black, because my problem with Orange is the New Black really is with its recent 2 seasons. I had a lot of fun watching it as it started. It was like a really cool show. It had done some things on TV that had never been done before. And I really appreciated watching it. And even now, I don't hate it. It's just something that I don't enjoy watching either. It's just something I kind of feel like I'm obligated to watch because it's ending soon and it's going to be the last season. I mean, I don't think it's a horrible show. I just think it's worse than it used to be. And I think they had an opportunity to correct a lot of their mistakes with the soft reset in terms of they're sending people to different prisons. We can really narrow down our cast and focus on like a core number of people. And they had that opportunity, and I just feel like they blew it. And that was what disappointed me about Orange is the New Black. You have the best hand gestures, Sarah, but those poor flies. Yeah, I know people. There's a joke now that I'm holding flies in my hands when I'm gesticulating, and they're trying to escape. But I will never let them escape. Oh, do you watch Overly Sarcastic Productions? So I took a classics class in my first year of university. And she has a series about various Greek myths. So I haven't seen many of her videos, but her Greek myths videos I used to study from classics because my prof was so boring. She was just so dry. And this lady presented the myths in a very funny way. So when I just needed like a bite-sized version of the myths, I would watch her videos, and they were always a good time. Ooh, Hex asks, are you a fan of psychological horror? If so, is there one that had an impact on your current taste? Doki Doki Literature Club was a really good psychological horror. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoy Black Mirror most of the time. There are a couple episodes that I don't love, but as a whole, I do enjoy the show. So in terms of like psychological horror that I enjoy, it would definitely have to be those 2. Oh, have I seen Be More Chill? I haven't like seen it, but I did listen to the soundtrack and I listened to the audio bootleg. It's a pretty enjoyable show. I hope that the off-Broadway not reboot, revival is doing well, because I enjoy what I watched. It's from Japan. No, that's not the tune. How performative is your YouTube voice compared to your normal voice? I feel like this is my normal voice. When I'm doing like video essays, I try to consciously keep my voice a lot more level than I do when I'm regularly talking, because I have had people say before that like my voice is shrill or that it's annoying. I think the first time I ever made a YouTube video is me and my best friend we were like 11, and we tried to make like an iCarly style channel, and somebody commented to my friend Cal. My friend's name is Cal. They said, "Cal, you are adorable. Sarah, you look and sound like a naked mole rat." So now I'm always like, do I? And I can just never unsee that now. So I try not to be too loud or harsh when I'm making video essays, but otherwise I don't think I like put on a voice too much. It's true, Rufus is the best character, so I can't complain too much. Thoughts on Junie B. Jones? Oh, I loved those books when I was younger. My mom like used to read them to me, and I couldn't quite like read fully yet, but I could read well enough to know that, because you know how in the ones where she's in kindergarten, she like makes some grammatical errors, like she says run instead of ran. I could tell that my mom wasn't reading it properly. She was correcting the grammatical errors because she didn't want me to pick up like on the errors and start using them in conversation. But I was like, that's not what she said. She didn't say ran. She said run. You have to read it right. And so I guess I kind of trained myself to read a little bit better by noticing the inconsistencies in that. But my childhood, those were so good. This tea is cold now. Oh, it's going to be 2019 in just under a minute, and then I'll probably leave. Why is Jack Black doing a YouTube gaming channel? I have no idea, but I'm so glad that he is. Your room is giving me a dormitory vibes. Well, dormitories. Does a dormitory have this? Oh, my microphone. My microphone is... I forgot I wasn't using my laptop mic, but look, it's a TARDIS. It's not a real TARDIS. It's not a real TARDIS. Obviously, it's not a real TARDIS, but that's where my tea is. It's just metal, and that's where I put my... hang on. That's where I put my kettle and some of my teas and my mugs. That's where I was going to get all my mugs. It was in that TARDIS. I need to adjust this mic now. Is this good? Yeah, I think this is good. Oh, I saw the flag. Are you LGBT? Yes, I am. Oh. It's going to be 2019 in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whoa. Oh, Discord notification. Happy New Year. Woo. Yes, it is. It is New Year. Do I have a noisemaker? I can like something to like woo woo. I don't. I was gonna do, you know, all those memes where it's like bring me to life or something. It's like when you play this song at this moment, this part will play when you hit midnight. Last year I did that with Bring Me to Life by Evanescence, and that was a great way to hearken in 2018. But I feel like a live stream on like my cool YouTube channel with cool people is like a good way to start 2019, I feel like. So that's a fun... Okay, Discord. Hell yeah. I just wanted to check in the end if I had any more questions from the Patreon comments, but I don't. I'm good. So I think I'm... Ben Shapiro was a gnome. Yeah, probably. I'm not going to play Despacito. I think I'm going to call it because it is midnight and I want... What is my hair doing? I want to have time to binge The Sims before I am forced to go to sleep. Also, my computer is not plugged in to a power source because my outlets are over there and my charger doesn't reach. So it's definitely going to die soon. So thank you for showing up to my stream and asking questions. I would have answered all of them, but the chat was moving so fast, and whenever I tried to scroll down, a bunch of them got lost. So I couldn't, but I wish I could. But yes, thank you. And in the words of Alaska, bye. Oh, are you sure you want to? Yes, I'm sure I want to end my stream. I do. That's why I clicked end stream. Okay, this time, goodbye.